I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, and a lot of people from out of town, they hear about Chicago, they get nervous. That's the south side of Chicago they get worried about. They're usually proud of it too, though. They yell, soy, like that. Yeah. If you hear that when you're in town, duck. That means some bad shit's about to happen. I'm Middle Eastern. That's like if I came up here and went, Allah Akbar, like you're all freak out. Yeah, I am Middle Eastern. My parents are from Iran. Yep, that's the right response right now. I watch the news too. I'm scared too. There's more of you right now than me. People in the back from my town like, that's what they look like. But being Middle Eastern, we always have bad news in the news, but recently we had good news for once. Last year, Rami Malek won the award for Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, first Arab to win an Oscar. Yeah, clap for him. I don't know him. We don't all just hang out. But I thought it was cool because like Middle Easterners, we don't have anyone to look up to in the arts as artists. I call myself an artist. I talk about dicks on stage. But I thought it was cool because we're known as what? Like doctors and like IT guys, right? But he had the balls to go up to his dad and say, I'm going to be an actor. That's hard to do in our community. I know because I told my dad I was going to join a band when I was in college. And he's like, get out of my house. I'm like, Dad, you're overreacting. He's like, overreacting? Go live with Kurt Nirvana. I'm like, I think you mean Kurt Cobain, and he's dead. It's like, exactly what would happen to you. We cover Matchbox 20, no one's dying. But I looked up Rami Malek. He comes from a family of doctors and a couple IT guys. But he has an older sister who's the successful doctor in California. So in his family, up until the Oscar, he was the fuck up, right? And I just picture that conversation between him and his dad when his dad's like trying to have a talk to him to go back to school, like passive aggressively. He's probably like, you know, Rami, we love you so, so much. You know that no matter what, we love and support all your decisions. I'm very proud of you. We're very proud of Yasmin, however. She opened her third private practice now. You know that, right? She sees 55 patients every day. She's going to be happy and have enough money for the rest of her life. It warms our hearts so much. But again, we are very proud of you too. You played the doctor on CSI Miami. For those few minutes, I felt like I had a son who was a doctor. And it's a step up of last year where you played 7-Eleven clerk on the Gilmore Girls, but you know, maybe you should think about going back to school and getting a real job. Dad, I'm on a show called Mr. Robot right now. It's doing really well on USA Network. Oh yeah, I saw. You're playing an IT guy. What a stretch. If you're wondering how I know that dialogue so well, I just got the phone with my dad an hour ago. And I have an older brother who's a lot more successful than me. He didn't beat me up as a kid. He just psychologically messed with me when I was little. My parents were immigrants, so they gave him the duties of writing letters to me from Santa when I was a kid. What could go wrong? So when I was 7 years old, he wrote a letter from Santa that on the front said, if you're nice to your brother, you do everything he says, I'll bring you all the presents you want for Christmas. But on the back it said, but if you don't, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep. Love, Santa. But here's how conniving he was. When I was like, you wrote that letter, he's like, let's show it to one of the adults. And he showed just the front of the letter to my mom, and he said, who wrote this letter? And she wants me to believe in Santa, right? So without even looking at it, she goes, Santa, of course. He's coming. So I became a bedwetter, and he became a neurosurgeon. So yeah, he has 2 degrees, an MD and a PhD in medicine. I have 2 tattoos of tiger paws on my lower back. So, but I actually had a big boy job before I did comedy. I was actually a lawyer for a while. Yep, that's the right response. I was a full-time lawyer for 13 and a half years, but on July 3rd, 2016, I stopped to pursue a career as a full-time comedian. That's a nice way of saying my law firm told me to fuck right off. It's called fired for cause. But I did what was called insurance coverage litigation defense. That's what you do when you graduate ranked 203rd out of 204 students. But people always ask me my legal thoughts about everything in the news.